All right, with 1.03, we're still looking at rhythms, but it starts to get a little bit more complicated with eighth notes. This is important to make sure you understand this. Even if you understand rhythms pretty well, you're experienced in music, understanding eighth notes is important to be able to count and to be able to dictate music, which is part of the AP test and part of any standard test, the praxis, or whatever, if you're going into music education. So in looking at this document, I know that you want to look at the diagrams where it shows how many eighth notes actually fit into a measure that would have a whole note. And make sure, when it talks about the eighth notes, two eighth notes fit into one quarter note. So you have beat one, and then there's a second part to the beat, which is an and. So if you're counting that, it's one and, two and, three and, four and make sure those, steady tempo, etc. But you can have an eighth note on any beat that you might have quarter notes, eighth notes, but you still have to fit within the time signature and so on. But it kind of goes through all of that stuff. There's listening examples. Please listen to those if you don't understand something. Looks like I've never seen this. But a lot of this stuff, I might be wasting the time putting this, but a lot of this is probably familiar. But just go through it, make sure it makes sense, understand it. Um, it goes into eighth note, what a single eighth note looks like, what a single eighth rest looks like. An eighth rest would just be half of a beat. So if you had two eighth rests, you wouldn't write two eighth rests, you write a quarter rest because you need two eighth rests. But then it shows you 16th notes. So 4/16 notes fit into one quarter note, which is one E and which it does have at the bottom. One E and two E and three E and four E and. So the biggest thing is just keeping good tempo. There's 32nd notes, 64th notes, and so it kind of goes through all that. Take a look at it, listen to the examples, and do the assignments. I know there's a lot for week one in terms of amount of assignments, but with all this stuff, it should be pretty straightforward. So keep working hard.